I'm an iPhone user, and obviously that's not a huge secret to anyone, but I have been using and testing out the Pixel Fold for the last few weeks, and honestly, this phone makes me really want to switch. I think I'm ready to do it. I just might do it because a lot of phones that we get these days are pretty boring. They all kind of have the same design concept, and folding phones are the only thing that right now, to me, they are fresh, exciting, and just something I wish Apple just made and released right now. And something about the Pixel Fold that is really unique to me is the design. It's the perfect size for normal use of the cover display. And then when you're ready, you can unfold it into a larger screen that's still comfortable to use and doesn't seem all too big. And it's the cover screen to me that sets this phone apart. And if Apple does make a foldable in the future, it needs to follow this formula. The smaller, wider display is perfect. It feels like I'm using a normal phone. And then again, when I'm ready for more screen real estate for something like gaming or watching content, or if I want to multitask, it becomes the perfect device with that larger interior screen. And if I were Samsung, I would be paying close attention to this style and be the next one to adopt it, because while the interior display is actually really, really good, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, even compared to the Pixel Fold, the cover screen is just too tall and narrow to use comfortably and makes you want to not use it and just use the interior screen on a regular basis. And you're probably thinking, don't you want to use that? Not really. You don't want to use the big, large screen all the time. You want to use it when it calls for it. The Pixel Fold, I find myself unfolding it less often because I can actually get basic things done on the front screen. And it's like a good display too. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's crisp, it's got a perfect resolution. Like I said, it just feels like I'm using my normal iPhone here on the front, a 5.8-inch iPhone, and then I unfold it to an even larger 7.6-inch beautiful OLED display. Now, yes, there are some bezels. It's not my favorite thing to look at, but honestly, after, using it, it becomes like the notch. It's like another thing that's just there. You kind of don't really pay much attention to it, and you get over it pretty quickly. The bezel was also kind of important to the design for Google to allow it to completely fold flat rather than leaving a gap. The hinge is part of that whole process as well. It can be set at any angle. It's very sturdy. And also, this phone is water resistant. So I'm guessing all of that plays into a factor as to why Google went with this design. And so, having a water resistant foldable is not something that a lot of others can say they have, and Google can actually say that. Now, one thing I do want to note is while it does fold completely flat, which you can see here, when you do open it up all the way, it's not totally flat. Like you can get it there by kind of forcing it to happen, but naturally it kind of leaves just a little bend, kind of like you're holding just like a magazine or something. I mean, that doesn't bother me. A lot of people have been making such a big deal out of that. It is worth pointing out. It is strange, and I just thought I'd let you know, but to me, I'm totally fine with the way it is. It's a very comfortable form factor all the way around, in my opinion. Now, the software, it needs some work, but it's getting there. Google is forcing people to actually take Foldable seriously now and making developers adapt for the larger screen. Now, Google has been working on a specific portion of Android for larger screens, for tablets and foldables, and now it's just up to developers to, again, adapt and make it happen. I will say it would be nice for Google to add some extra features like what Samsung did, which was kind of force the crop to happen. So if a phone doesn't take advantage of the full aspect ratio when it's unfolded, force it. Bring that prompt up, allow me to force it to happen. Yeah, the app might not be at its best, but at least I can make that call. Now you can kind of get this done by like opening it up and then turning it, but I mean, I would just rather not have to do that and just have it automatically know my preference to force the app. And a lot of apps do this, so it's early, but hopefully this will get better. Now, obviously you can multitask and have two apps going at once, but this is where Google kind of needs to open things up a bit more. Samsung allows you to have more than two apps. You can have one tall app on the full right side of the screen and then two miniature apps taking up what it would be like the second half. And so, I don't know, we're limited to just two. It's fine for me, but I kind of wish we had more options, and I'm sure other people would agree. Other than that though, I mean, I think a foldable should just be used as a normal phone for 75% of the day. And then when it comes time to needing that extra screen real estate for gaming, watching content, video calls, multitasking, etc., then you open up the device and take advantage of that larger screen. I think that's what Apple needs for the future, in my opinion. I would really love a foldable iPhone. I know there are two types of foldables, like the clamshell one, where you go from normal sized phone to small phone. I like that too, but I am personally more of a fan of this type. And so I would really like to see Apple do it. I know they would kill it. I know they would make something awesome. Foldables are only trending up, in my opinion. I'm seeing more and more of them out in the wild, and I just think Apple, it just makes more sense to maybe jump on that train a little sooner than later. And lastly, I do want to mention one more thing about the the Pixel Fold, and that's the camera. It's good, but it's not great. And I was a bit bummed by this because the only other thing that's bad about this phone is the terrible starting price of $1,800. For $1,800, I should be getting the best hardware, the best software, and the best camera experience that this company can offer. And maybe more than most other OEMs out there. It should be one of the best phones. It's expensive. And the fact that the Pixel 7 and 7 Pro are a lot cheaper and better in the camera department is a problem for me. This camera kind of equals the Pixel 7a to me. It's good, but it's not great. I don't know. Let me know what you think from some of the images that I'm showing you here. But I think if you're dropping $2,000 on a phone, you should be expecting to get the same level quality of at least the best cameras that Google can offer, if not the best camera experience out there. But of course, I would love to know from you in the comment section down below. Are you team foldable? Are you against foldables? If you are against foldables, have you used one first before you made that decision? I think people who just say, oh no, that's stupid, it's never going to catch on, I don't like it, but I've never used it, are kind of missing the point and are kind of missing out. So, you should definitely try one. Would you try Apple's version, or are you thinking about switching to something like a Z Fold or the Pixel Fold? Let me know down in those comments. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.